Boom, and welcome to another video of the Flowing Dutchman. In this video I'm going to review a very special mace. It's the Omnibell 2 Elite. This goes all the way up from 6.5 kilograms to 18 kilograms. Enjoy, guys! So the story behind this review is that I actually got quite a few people asking me what my opinion was about the Omnibell. So I never really heard about the Omnibell, looked for it on the internet and was like, yeah, adjustable mace, multiple plates, a screw. Usually that tends to get loose while you swing. So I wasn't really sure what it was, but I decided to contact the owners of an Omnibell anyway. And they were happy to send me a new model, the Omnibell 2. They just arrived and they have basically two models, the Elite and the Advanced. Now the model that I have here is the Elite, of course. I'm elite. No, but why I really chose this one is because it has a thick handle. This one has a 4.2 centimeter handle. The other one, the Advanced, has a 3.3 centimeter handle. Now this actually makes the Elite heavier. It's about 1 kilogram heavier, and that weight is all the way in the handle. So all the weights that are found in the Omnibell Advanced and Elite are the same. It's just the handle that is different. The length is also the same. The height of this Omnibell is 1.2 meters. That's 120 centimeters. That's quite tall for a mace. Usually the maces are about 105 centimeters. So this one is about 15 centimeters longer. This doesn't mean that it's very different. The traditional Gadas are, for example, about the same height as this one. And there are a lot of custom taller maces. Usually the heavier ones also go for more around 115 centimeters as their length, because people usually only use it for traditional swings, like for example the 360 or the 300. Now as you can see, it swings beautifully, it doesn't make a sound, it doesn't itch, and the coating is very nice. I really like the coating. It's still movable, but it's not too slippery, so you can actually hold on to it very much. It doesn't have knurling. Usually these maces have knurling, and I actually prefer this. I think this is better without knurling than with knurling. And that's mainly because of the comfort of holding it and the fact that it has enough grip for your hand. I even think that if you do longer sessions with it, that if you do get too sweaty hands, you can just use a little bit of magnesium. But for example, the quad mace is a lot more slippery than this Omnibell. Like I mentioned in the intro, the weight goes all the way from 6.5 kilograms to 18 kilograms. So I'm going to show you in a bit how to get those weight plates on and off. But first, this setup right now, it has two plates on it. One plate is always attached. So this one is around 7.8, 7.9 kilograms. There's still one 1.5 kilogram plate. The other plates are all 2 kilograms. Now, it's really important to understand with a mace, and I'm going to be a little mace nerdy here, the weight differentiation. Usually, the weight differentiation in a regular mace is around here. And what usually happens when maces get larger, so they only increase the weight of the head, the handle stays the same. But what is really interesting is that here the weight distribution is even further away than a regular mace. Which means that you can swing this like a regular mace. You can use it at the top, because usually the top becomes too heavy, and then the weight is out of balance because the handle is not heavy enough for the weight. So that is an advantage I really like. What you do have to consider is 6.5 kilograms is quite a lot of weight to move around as a beginner. Especially if you get this weight off, you only get 1.5 kilograms all the way at the end, which will make the weight distribution even further away from the globe. So it wouldn't be as representable to a regular mace in that weight category. So I would even think that a 2 kilogram plate added to this would make the weight distribution ideal, which means this is a very cool flow mace of around 10 kilograms, which is unique, and that is something I truly enjoy. So you can see that it moves really well. The only thing is, of course, that when you use it at this point, the weight plates aren't as soft as the head, so you really shouldn't move it all the way to the end, right? Because even if it would touch you, it would hurt a little bit more than a regular mace, because it's a little sharper than you would normally be. But most people, I guess a lot of people will use this mace as traditional style swinging because they want to move up in weight, which this mace is ideal for. So it goes all the way up to 18 kilograms. And now I'm going to show you how to put the other kilograms on this mace. Okay, so what you have to do to untie this, by the way, this goes off, which is, I'm not really sure what that's for, but you can look all the way in it and it feels very durable. You can just tie that on, but that is not actually how you get the weights on. What you have to do is kind of step on it. People from India won't really like this because in Gada you cannot really touch it with your feet, but I'm gonna do it anyway because otherwise it's difficult to untie. And it's not really a Gada, it's more like a mace. So it requires quite a lot of strength to move this. And also you would be surprised that the actual screw is quite large. So bear with me here. What I noticed is that this is quite a good warm-up for your forearm. I hope I'm almost there. As you can see, it does have a large screw, but before calling this a disadvantage, I have used a few maces before that use screws, and the negative thing about that is that usually when you start to swing it, you actually pronate and supinate your hands, so that means sometimes you untie that screw. Now there's a little rubber safety patch for the mace, and you just put the weights on, and I really feel my forearms being pumped up, which is not a bad thing, you know. If you're a mace swinger, you're probably into building your forearms, so it's a good way to warm up before the start. So what I forgot to mention is the total length is 1200 millimeters, so 120 centimeters, but that is only with all the weights on. So it's actually a little bit smaller because you tie the handle more into the screw. Now it's all loaded up, time to get it back on. Usually the weights tend to fall off or untie, but with this one you really feel that it's properly built and you can really tighten it up and it doesn't go loose so quickly. And even if it would go a little loose, it would never go all the way down because it's such a long screw. Now it's attached and it's time to show you the Elite in its full glory. So it now weighs 18 kilograms, which is quite a lot of weight, but definitely manageable for me, but maybe not for everyone. And that is one of the benefits of this mace, is you can actually build up all the way from 6 kilograms to 18 kilograms without having to buy a new mace every 2 kilograms, which does add up the price. And usually what you see when people swing heavy, they use primarily one mace, and don't tend to switch between, for example, 16 and 12 too much, even though that is definitely possible. So it does take some time to untie it, to unscrew it, and to screw it up. But then again, it is a good warm-up for your forearms, and it really makes sure that the product is attached safely, which is important with these adjustable maces. You want to have this thing for a long time because it's an investment, and it's a really cool investment, but because it's an investment to actually increase in weight, go all the way up to 18 kilograms. And by the way, I now remember why you can untie the back part, because at Omnibell they sell extra plates. You can get those extra plates and mount them on here, and I think you can even use one of those clutches that you use for a barbell. Get that over with and attach 2 new plates, which would add up in weight. I think they are purchasable on their website as an add-on, which would make this even cooler because you would be able to swing over 20 kilograms with one mace and then go all the way to 6 kilograms with the same mace. What would be my recommendation if you would go for the Omnibell, the Advanced or the Elite? Now, if your goal is to swing up and you don't have that much experience yet, then I would definitely recommend the smaller one, the Advanced. Why? This handle is quite thick. I was even surprised by it. My hand just fits around it. It's 42 millimeters, which is more than any mace I know. So it's very thick handle. So you have to have some strong and big hands to operate this well. So the only difference would be that I think the difference is even more in the weight. I think that is really important. The 33 millimeter handle weighs 1 kilogram less, which does differ in weight distribution. So for example, if you want to flow with it and use it as a regular mace, then the Advanced would give you a weight of about 8 kilograms with the right distribution. The Elite would give it all the way to 10, and 10 kilograms is quite a lot of weight for usual people to flow with. So if you want to use it as a flow mace and then go all the way up in weight, the Advanced is probably better for most people. But then again, if you're an experienced athlete and you're quite strong, the Elite is the way to go. Now, this, like I said, I contacted them. This is an honest review. I actually tried it out. I wasn't really sure when I got it if this would be, you know, the thing that I would really start to like. And at the beginning I was like, oh man, this takes such a long time to unscrew, and I'm probably not gonna do it that much because it just would take too much time. But as it starts to grow on me, especially using it as a heavy flow mace, because it does flow a lot better as, for example, a 12 kilogram mace. This one flows better than my other 12 kilogram mace just because the handle is more heavy. I never really considered that, but it's a really cool benefit to it. So I hope you enjoyed this review, guys. Give them a look. I put the link down in the description, and ask any other questions if you have so. I hope you enjoyed this review. I'll see you in the next video.